I am a mindset coach. Yeah. How I became an expert in mindset in a concept that's really hard to explain to most people, I don't know.
Because you went into just basic goals and accountability.
It started basic goals and accountability. You know, I went to work for Tony Robbins because I decided, I'm like, if I work for Tony Robbins, I'll learn how to be successful.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be successful. I'm like, we have 4 kids. I'm in my 40s. I don't have much money, so a W-2 ain't gonna cut it.
Yep.
So I was thinking I need to do that, and through the. And it only took me, and I started coaching for Tony Robbins in 2013, and I started using those tools and technologies. But it was only less than a year later where I started to evolve past his tools. And I started developing my own tools that worked much better. And it was really grounded in my own personal growth. Like every piece of content that comes out of JDC is I've lived. Like it's directly attached to me. It's good or bad or whatever it is. So and what we don't realize about mindset, and the simplest way for people to understand mindset is like point of view, right? It's a point of view. Like a new real estate investor can look at this and see one opportunity, and you can look at things and see radically different opportunities, right? So, and what we don't realize is that we're operating in a little box that's our mindset, because your brain is cataloging everything that was put into it prior to now for your entire moment, where you went to school, how you were educated, all of that stuff. And that creates your expectations, and that creates your mindset. So every step forward you take, your brain's trying to keep you alive, not successful. So it's basically comparing. It's like driving a car staring in the rearview mirrors. And all of us, we're driving the car with the pedal down, and we're building on bigger engines and things like that at the same time while we're staring in the rearview mirrors, right? So what I like to think I do is I rip off the rearview mirrors so you can only look forward.
That's powerful. So how do you, Alexis, then, I guess, how do you deal with a husband who is a mindset coach? You know what I mean? And maybe that's also a Jason question is, do you have to refrain from coaching your wife, or do you allow that, or how does that interaction go?
Oh, that's such a good question, because he'll always say, you can't coach your wife. Or he'll walk around and he'll see me struggling with something and say, can I give you some coaching on that? No, you can't give me any coaching on that.
I rarely do that anymore. When I first started coaching, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to coach everybody. But now I'm like, there's been a few situations where she will want coaching.
Yeah.
But I can't, that's not a role that I'm not the coach in her life.
Yeah.
That's not a role. No.
But it's also, there's moments where you're in that growth pattern too, of maybe your mindset isn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the human part of being human and being a coach. Like, he's an amazing coach. At home, he doesn't have to be a coach every single second.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get to be the one that's supporting him or helping with his mindset, because I'm giving a different perspective that he may not see. And then your kids are always going to give you a different perspective that you maybe didn't see. They're going to call you out on all kinds of things.
Yeah, they do.
But he and I mean, we've moved through so many different things together in our life, growing at the same time, growing a family, growing yourself, being self-aware.
But we're also moving a different process, right? Where she,
you have a little flag.
A little flag.
Yeah, a little flag
where
convention.
I can see that right now. Somehow I've developed the ability to pick up on misalignment in people. I can't not see it.
Yeah.
Right. And my gift as a coach isn't really just results-based coaching, because results-based coaching, how I grew up, is like, okay, well, what do you need? I need to cold call. Why don't you cold call?
Yep.
I'm afraid of it. And I would say, what kind of man are you going to be? Right. So you'd force misaligned action, and I don't do that anymore. So now what I figured out how to do is to coach at the environment level. So basically you align the mental environment, and then the action's automatic.
Can you explain that more? Like mental environment and misalignment. What is that?
Well, it's like the right action in the wrong environment. You can be in real estate taking the right action, but if you're in the wrong market, it'll never work. Right? So, but if you start in the right market, you're going to have a much better chance of figuring out the action.
That's a good metaphor. I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Because our brains tell us that action creates reality, but that's not true. Reality creates your action. Like our bodies are energy. We're made of atoms. We're not even solid. And if you're in if you're in a happy frequency, you'll have happy thoughts and happy actions. If you're a sad frequency, you'll have sad thoughts and sad actions. Same thing with success. So when I started to figure out how to coach that way, it really started to change the game, because instead of forcing this misaligned action, I'm moving people into alignment. And one of the most interesting thing people hear is they're like, "Are you an accountability coach?" I'm like, "No, I don't do accountability." Because if you need accountability, you're out of alignment, right? So that's kind of the big shift that I've done. And so but I've naturally had the ability to pick up on that when I'm talking to people. And my real gift as a coach is I can hold like the frequency of alignment right above wherever anybody is. So I'm really good at getting people past whatever is causing the misalignment.